Yvette is here, family physician, breaking down the nuances surrounding the flu shot. Let's talk about it because we were just chatting during the break. Seasons are changing, temperatures getting cold. Now is the time. If people are choosing to get the shot, now is the time to start considering this, yeah?
It is, because the flu season goes from around end of October to April. So you want to get your shot as soon as possible because it takes 2 weeks to develop immunity to the shot.
Okay, so we talk about the idea that the flu shot makes you stronger to battle this virus, but let's talk about the risk factors, because personally there's a bit of a paranoia that when I hear the stories of you get the shot then you get sick. What are the true risks of getting the flu shot? Right.
So when I talk to people about the shot, I always talk to people about the risk-benefit ratio. So there are minor risks to having the shot, like the biggest one would be an allergic reaction, right? There's a small risk of something called Guillain-Barré syndrome. That's about 1 in a million. But the risk of having Guillain-Barré syndrome, for example, is much higher if you catch the flu than if you get the flu shot. So people should be thinking about the risks of what would happen if they catch the flu. So the risk-benefit ratio issue is that everything in life has risks. Say you get in a car, there's a risk that you'll get in an accident, but the benefit outweighs the risks because you get to the destination. So it's the same way with vaccines. If you get the vaccine, the benefits of having the vaccine vastly outweighs the risks. Flu is actually a very serious illness. We sort of think that it's, not that bad, but 10 to 20% of the population get the flu each year. 20,000 people in Canada are hospitalized, and 2,000 to 4,000 people die of the flu each year. So really, if you're going to worry about risks, you should be worrying about the risks of catching and getting complications from the flu, not really worrying about the risks of a vaccine.
It's very interesting insight about the numbers of what is happening with the virus itself. So let's say somebody's watching, they're going to choose to go through with the flu shot. What are options for us between 3-strain, 4-strain shots, and now the nasal spray, which I hear is becoming more common?
Right, exactly. So the provincial government covers the flu shot and the nasal spray. It has 3 strains in it, 2 influenza A and 1 influenza B. And the nasal spray, the government will cover for children ages 2 to 17. And for children ages 2 to 6, the nasal spray is actually more effective than the flu shot. But what you have to remember is that the nasal spray is a live vaccine. So you cannot get the flu from the flu shot. It's killed, it's dead. You might feel like you have the flu, a little bit tired, a little bit achy, but that's just your immune system working. That's your immune system making antibodies to protect yourself against the flu. So when the real one actually comes along, then you'll have the antibodies. You'll have the soldiers there to attack the flu right away. With the nasal spray, it's a live vaccine, but it's weakened. So we put a little bit of live influenza into your nose, and we weaken the strain so that it can only infect the nose, it can't infect the lower lungs. But you do have to remember that if you're going to be around anyone who has a really weak immune system, you have to stay away from them for 2 weeks after you get the nasal spray.
Important tip right there to know. When it comes to cost of the actual vaccine, who can still get this for free? Who's eligible?
So a lot of people can get the flu shot for free, and the people who can get it for free are the people we actually strongly recommend to get it. So the first group are people who are at increased risks of complications from the flu, meaning that if they catch the flu, they're at higher chance of getting pneumonia, having to go to the hospital, or even dying from the flu. So that includes children under the age of 5, people over the age of 65, people with chronic health conditions like diabetes, cancer, kidney disease, people who live in nursing homes, people who are over a body mass index of 40, so people who are quite overweight, Aboriginal people, and pregnant women. And we know that the flu shot is safe for pregnant women. Pregnant women actually have a little bit of immunosuppression. Their immunity is not as good because they're pregnant. And if they do catch the flu and get complications, then it can affect the baby. Also, they can pass the antibodies to the baby when the baby is born.
A lot of important information on this. Thanks so much for your insight. I want to put up this website, too, if you want to find out more. If you're choosing to get the flu shot, immunizebc.ca. That's the resource to go to. Thank you so much for coming on.
Yes. There's lots of information on that website, so be sure to check it out.
All right, Ross, did the doctor convince you? You win?
I am dutifully shamed into going and getting my flu shot, absolutely.